The Senate and Assembly just passed a bill that will give all veterans access to the state's Veteran Tuition Awards program. This regardless of combat service.
It now awaits Governor Kathy Hochul's signature. Right now, we are joined by State Assembly Majority Leader Crystal Peoples-Stokes. It is a pleasure to have you here. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you. Thank you for having me to discuss this very important topic.
Yeah. So before we talk about the changes, what does the current program look like?
The current program provides tuition assistance to veterans who actually served in combat. So the vast majority of the veterans in the state of New York, which there's about some 800,000 of them, did not necessarily serve in combat, but they definitely served. And it's our feeling, both the legislature and the Assembly and the Senate, the bill sponsored by my colleague Mary Ann Buttenshine, who's out of Utica, that all veterans should have access to this, particularly when we're looking to build the workforce. Sometimes you need to go to college. You need to get certification to increase your opportunities for employment access. And so for the people who, accepted the call, the challenge to protect and serve us, I think that they deserve access to these resources as well.
Is this something that veterans have been coming to state leaders about for years now?
They have. There are several committees that operate in state government that are specifically for veterans, and Mary Ann Buttenshine is one of those people who served on those committees. And yeah, she has talked to people on a regular basis who have said that they would like to have this opportunity. In fact, with the African American Veterans Monument, the young lady who administers most of our behind-the-scenes work, Robin Hodges, is a veteran and actually applied for these resources when she was denied because you were not in a combat. And so, now she still is in school, by the way, because you do understand you need to increase your access to education, but it's a challenge for her as she raises her children to be able to do that. But if there's something that we can do to give to people who are willing to give to us and, take the call to go and serve America, then I think that we should be doing what we can do to help them. There's no question that, in order to create a skilled workforce, sometimes you need higher education. And if these ladies and gentlemen are willing to go and fight for this country, whether it's in combat or not, I think that they are deserving of this opportunity, and that's what we're just asking the governor to sign this legislation.
These resources really are crucial. And you said it, 800,000 veterans. We were talking during the commercial break. We have a really great local community of veterans. And I want you to elaborate specifically a little bit more on why the educational support is so crucial for veterans. You talk about sometimes a degree is needed. Talk about expanding that workforce. Elaborate a little bit more on that.
Well, if you think about how right now, the economy is contingent on people having qualified, skilled people to go into the workforce. Why cannot we not prepare some veterans to be those qualified, skilled people to go into the workforce? I would imagine that the vast majority of these 800 veterans who are not already retired are probably working somewhere. But if you have an opportunity to get 2 additional years of education that could increase your pay and therefore increase your ability to take care of your family, why would you not do that, except for you may not be able to afford tuition? If you look at all colleges across the state of New York, just locally here in Canisius, we just heard these numbers. Buffalo State, we just heard these numbers. Why are people not still enrolling in college? Mostly because they can't afford the tuition.
Yeah.
And so if we can help veterans at minimum be the ones that get the chance to go to college and be able to afford the tuition, why would we not do this when they were willing to help us?
Well, of course, to continue to follow if the governor does sign this bill into law. I do want to ask you, Assembly Majority Leader Crystal Peoples-Stokes, about the mayor. We just had a huge transition of power here in the city of Buffalo. Mayor Brown now working for the OTB and Chris Scanlon in. What are your thoughts on Brown leaving and now Chris Scanlon coming in?
Well, I think no one should be mayor for life. And so, I am grateful for the mayor's years of service. And I do know that, sometimes you have to have change. And I don't look at change as a negative. I look at change as a positive, even if it's going to be for the better. And I think it will be for the better.
Okay. State Assembly Majority Leader Crystal Peoples-Stokes. It is all the time we have. Thank you so much for coming in.
You're so welcome. Thank you, ladies, for having me.
Thank you.
And I appreciate you talking about this particular topic on the veterans.
And again, we will follow that with whatever Kathy Hochul does with that bill.